Well, here we are. Here it is. Well, I always wanted to do a review on this show. I've been trying to get this out, but I didn't really know when was it a good time to do a review on this series. But then when I saw the trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beasts, I was super hyped up for it, and I was very excited to see what they're going to do with it. And since Transformers Rise of the Beasts is coming out sometime around later this year, I decided, hey, why not do a review on Transformers Beast Wars? So, here we are. Let's talk about Transformers Beast Wars. Beast Wars is something that we haven't seen throughout the Transformers mythos before. Transformers Beast Wars adds something unique to the table for the Transformers outside of the G1 transforming into cars, planes, vehicles, all that type of shit. Beast Wars basically focuses on setting up a new different kind of group characters, but staying it true, connecting to G1, and instead of the Autobots and Decepticons transforming into vehicles, planes, and shit, these are basically Maximals and Predacons transforming into animals, insects, and rats. So the premises behind this show is basically focusing on two descendants of one of the most iconic teams from Transformers history that travel back through time in prehistoric Earth, although we don't learn more about that until later further in the series. And basically they are trying to basically alter time in history. The Maximals are trying to stop the Predacons from altering history and basically from ruining the moments of the Great War. The Maximals are basically like the descendants of the Autobots, and the Predacons are basically the descendants of the Decepticons. The show basically focuses on these characters. Optimus Primal, who is basically a descendant of Optimus Prime and has the obvious character of Optimus Prime, although this time can transform into a gorilla instead of transforming into a truck. And he has a bit of a really cool character type moment that is a little bit more relatable than Prime's. And then we of course have Rat Trap, who is basically the whiny, annoying prick and could be a bit of a bully sometimes, but in other words, he is a really good member of the team, and he definitely knows when to take some things very seriously, even though at the same time he could be a bit of an ass. But in other words, he does know when to take it seriously. And then there's Rhinox. He's basically like Ironhide, but a bit more calm and a bit more peaceful than Ironhide. And I overall just do really like his character, and he's also most certainly wise. Unlike Ironhide, where he's not really that wise, but here, however, he's pretty much more wise, and I think I really like his character a lot more than Ironhide's. Then, of course, there's Cheetor. Basically, he's like the Bumblebee-like, and basically, yeah. But he does really care for others, including for Primal, and basically, yeah. He keeps his head in the game and definitely makes sure to know what he's doing, despite being a little distracted and having like a kid-like essence for his personality. But in other words, he does know when to take things very seriously, and he does know when to protect others. Then there's one of my favorite characters in the series, known as Dinobot. Dinobot was basically formerly a Predacon, now turned Maximal, and he has like this very interesting character arc that he has. He went from being a Predacon to a Maximal and learning more about the Maximal's ways and having some fun interactions with them. And out of all the interactions, I think he has the most funnest interaction with Rat Trap, despite that he and Rat Trap don't really get along at times. And yeah, they do screw each other around from time to time. But in other words, they know when to take some situations very, very seriously, despite their disagreements and their differences. What I really like about this show is how it takes the toy line into a different route. Instead of having robots transforming into cars, airplanes, or any other type of vehicles, they have robots transforming as animals, and prehistoric animals and insects, which was overall pretty cool. I also really like how dark the show is, and outside of G1, where G1 had some serious moments, this one actually goes full dark, and there are like a lot of deaths in this show, like a lot of deaths, and has a lot of dark, mature themes in it. This is not like your typical Transformers show, and this is not like just another Transformers show that was made to sell toys. It proves to be more than that, at least in my opinion. It is basically how it adapted, how it basically is a continuation of G1, how it slowly and tightly connects to G1, and the lore behind it is overall pretty amazing. A lot more than how G1 did, and yeah, they did a really amazing job about how they connect through everything to G1 to Beast Wars. I really liked how it still connects to G1 and how it was connected into all the same universe, how it hints from everything from the previous seasons and the Great War between Optimus Prime and Megatron, and of course the movie itself, the movie from 1986, which was overall pretty cool. And I absolutely really love how it ties into G1, how it slowly hints us about tying into G1, especially with the episode with Starscream's ghost, which that was overall a really awesome episode, and it was one of the best episodes of the series in my opinion. And I absolutely really loved that. I also really liked about how Difference explores a bit more of the lore of the Transformers. Like, there are these things called promorphs, I believe, which basically that's what the Maximals and Predacons have, and they were also dropped while during their crash landing on prehistoric Earth. And I overall really liked how they are talked about a little bit more, like how how they work and how they are used and all that. Basically, yeah. And especially about how they are born to become either Maximals or Predacons. Although there is one Predacon, but later turned Maximal, like Dinobot, but it's a little different, of course. Her name is Black Arachnia. Black Arachnia was a part of the Maximals Premorph pod, but Megatron altered her and made her into a Predacon, and giving her the name Black Arachnia, which, yeah, Black Arachnia is overall one of the most interesting and one of the most developed characters I've seen, along with Rat Trap, along with Optimus Primal, and along with Dinobot. Which, Dinobot, I really want to talk about Dinobot because he's one of my favorite characters. Dinobot is by far one of my all-time favorite characters, and he's one of my favorite characters being developed. Out of all the characters that were developed throughout this series, I think Dinobot is the most developed character. Out of all the Maximals, he's the most developed. He went from being a Predacon to a Maximal, and later to a Predacon again, but later turned back eventually to being a Maximal, and actually caring about life and learning the ways of being a good teammate, being a good friend, as he would call it, even though that he doesn't really get along that much with some of the others, mainly with Rat Trap. Like, he and Rat Trap would often clash together and butt heads to each other with one another, but eventually they do put their differences aside and manage to focus on the task at hand. And I absolutely really like his sacrifice, where he sacrificed himself to save the human life that would be born pretty soon, as seen throughout the middle of the season of Beast Wars, when Megatron was trying to destroy those animals that were transforming into humans, and yeah, wanted to destroy them to prevent from the Great War, as he would call it, aka altering the timeline of events of G1, and yeah. But I really like his sacrifice, and I really liked his development until they cloned him, and yeah, but we'll talk about that later. That's something that we will talk about later. Other characters I really like are basically Rhinox. Rhinox is like Ironhide, but he's super chill and he's super cool. He's very smart in definitely many ways, and he's overall just by far the most chillest character I've seen. And of course, the most scientific character that I think the show has developed. And yeah, he's definitely by far the most. And I also really like Rat Trap as well. Rat Trap, yeah, he can be a bit of a bully sometimes, but at the end he does really care for others, even though that he didn't really want to be dragged into this mess in the first place, but he joined in anyway, and here he is now. Then we have Optimus Primal. He basically kind of has the same personality as Optimus Prime, but his personality is a bit more different otherwise. He's trying to do his best that he can as a leader, but then again, he does have his issues with being a leader. He's not like that much of the wise of Optimus Prime. He does get wise at times, yeah, but in other words, I think I really like his interaction with the team and carrying them the most, and basically putting them into some things to help them to work as a team, which yeah, and overall just really likes life and adapts life as well. And yeah, that's something what I really like about his character. I also do really like how they did an amazing job with the villains themselves, with the Predacons. The Predacons are by far one of the best things that happened to this, but out of all the Predacons, I think I really like Beast Wars Megatron. Beast Wars Megatron is by far one of the best villains I've seen, and he's one of the best villains I've seen in a long time in entertainment history, and one of the best Transformers villains in general. Although his name is not really Megatron per se, and we don't probably really learn about his actual name, and it's clear that he got that name not from the G1 Megatron that he was a descendant of, but instead he got it out of pride. And yeah, but yeah, it's yeah, but yeah, we don't learn too much about that, and yeah, but I overall really liked his character and how menacing he is, and how he always says yes all the time. And he is brilliantly voiced by the legendary voice actor man himself, David Kaye. David Kaye by far being one of the best voices for Beast Wars Megatron. And yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes, 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 yes.
I think the CGI for the show is pretty good, at least for the time for what it is. Keep in mind this was back in the 90s, and back then CGI was not as advanced as it is now. The technology for the show wasn't as good as it is now, and this was back when Pixar was at its highest peak thanks to Toy Story, and at the same time there was also other animation studios that were trying to get into the likes of CGI animation, like DreamWorks, for example, with their movie Ants. But over the course of its 3-season run, the CGI has by far improved. The CGI at first can be a bit wonky at times, but it does improve over time through its 3-season run. All good things must come to an end when Transformers Beast Wars was canceled after only running for 3 seasons. Well, technically it wasn't canceled, it already ended on a pretty good note. And that leads to the question, did the Maximals get back home on time? Well, there was a continuation for Beast Wars known as Beast Machines, but it's not as good as Beast Wars. And yeah, I remember seeing that show when I was about like 14, I believe. Yeah. I don't really remember too much about Beast Machines, and I remember it was just being forgettable and nowhere near as memorable or nowhere near as good as Beast Wars. I probably might do a review on Beast Machines, but we'll see. And after Beast Wars ended, the Maximals would make some appearances again in other shows, like in the new Transformers Netflix shows. Yeah, I don't really remember those, and it just seems to be forgettable in my opinion. And they do make some other appearances again. Some of the characters more likely do make other appearances in other Transformers shows, like Waspinator would appear in Transformers Animated, and the Maximals would also be hinted at in Transformers Animated as well, or probably teased or being joked about, or would make cameos in. And yeah, I think that was about it. And also Cyberverse 2, probably that they might make appearances in Cyberverse, like probably Cheetor, for example. And they would make another appearance again, this time on the big screen with the upcoming Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which that is something I'm definitely very excited for, and I'm hoping that it'll be as good as Bumblebee, and I'm hoping that the Maximals will still stay true to their counterparts from Beast Wars, from the TV show. And yeah, the series overall does have really good writing. It has some really dark moments here and there, and they overall are pretty much executed very well. It has a lot of deaths. It has some risks that are extremely high for the Maximals. It's something that I don't think Transformers has ever done before, especially before Transformers Animated and before Transformers Prime, which they are both by far one of my favorite Transformers shows of all time. And yeah, it's overall just one of the best Transformers toy lineup and one of the best adaptations and incarnations of the Transformers I've seen. And basically, yeah, I'm going to give the series 5 stars and a must-watch recommendation. It is overall just a really good show, and if you haven't seen it yet, I do recommend you to give it a watch. Go see it. It's amazing. And, of course, yeah, that's about it. That's basically my review for Beast Wars. What do you guys think about Beast Wars? Do you enjoy it? Do you like it? Or you don't seem to like it at all and you prefer G1? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. And of course, I'm Nicolas. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.